Hello, gorgeous, and a warm welcome to Accepting. I'm Aline, your host, and in this episode, we are going to be feeling into accepting the in between and our emotional capacity. Thank you so much for all your support. Please continue to review, subscribe, share, all that good stuff so we can reach more people. For now, sending lots of love, grab yourself a cup of tea, get yourself cozy, and let's dive in. Hello, gorgeous, and a warm welcome to this week's episode. To give you a little idea, we are back under the tree of love. The moon is to my left, and the stars are above me. It's the eve of Beltane, and I've been back from France for about 8 days now, and really feeling into all that happened in France and all that's happened since my beautiful girl passed. And since December, we've been dedicating all of the episodes to our beautiful, gorgeous guide to lovers from the Rainbow Bridge. So as we're recording, Jupiter is above me, the moon is to my left, the full moon is tomorrow, and it will be the first year since 1988, I believe, that Beltane as a full moon. Now, as you may know, I am all about the Fae, I'm all about Hecate, so this is huge for us. This is so beautiful, and I really wanted to record under the tree of love, feeling the energy of Beltane. We've all been through so much. We had the year of the snake, and then we burst into the year of the firehawk, still trying to soothe that sensitive skin. And then we were yanked by our ankles and pulled along. So I was really feeling into, and various episodes I felt into going at our own pace and choosing love over fear. And in this episode, it really is accepting the in-between. So when we've been through all we've been through, we've released what no longer serves us. We've cried our tears. We've shed those skins. And there's that place of quiet and stillness. And there feels like there's a gap. And I'm going to work with this in the context of my beautiful girl passing. She left a huge gap. She was in my life for 17 years. And as I'm speaking, my gorgeous Coco has just jumped on my lap. She was in my life for 17 years. And she was my life. She was my world, to be completely honest. And when she passed, she's been with me the whole time. I've been in Spain. She has been with me through healing, through giving up unhelpful habits, through relationships, intimate and normal friendships. She's been with me all the way, and it's been so different without her. And I had the first few months after she passed on my own, and I was in shock. That's the only way I can describe it. I was just in pure shock. And it wasn't until the people I live in the shared household returned that I started actually really feeling the loss of her. And I remember waking up one morning and going, right, okay, that's enough. That's enough. It's not, you go on a diet, give up chocolate, give up sugar, and there's a moment like, right, okay, yes, I've done that for enough now. I'm going to have a little bit of that now, please. And it was a real moment of, no, that's enough. Where is she? And it felt so clear that I was expecting her to come around the corner. It's like, well, where's she been hiding? It's like I've been away somewhere and come back. Mind you, she went everywhere with me. So it was that moment that I actually started grieving rather than being in shock. So it was in that moment that I started really feeling into the in-between, if you like, and my emotional capacity. There were so many things that have happened after Cleo's passing. There's the beautiful boy, who came and stayed with me, and I kept trying to tell his caretaker he is not well. And although he'd been to the best and they helped him with something, I kept saying he's not well, he's not well. He stayed with me 2 weeks, not long after Cleo left for the Rainbow Bridge, and he passed. He wasn't, for various reasons, he wasn't able to be inside with his caretakers in their house. So I knew he needed TLC, and he stayed with me. And it was as if the universe came and said, right, okay, she's in shock. Let's give her something to be occupied with. And he stayed with me until the last moment. I even said to his caretakers, he can pass here. They wanted to have tests done, even though I was explaining what was happening. And that was the moment that I had to really step back and allow other people to have their experience. And as well as accepting the in-between, it's accepting our emotional capacity. Now, when something happens, any kind of loss, when we're grieving the old person that we were, where we've shed all of these layers to step into our true selves, when we're grieving the loss of perhaps a job or a relationship, it's all about change. It's all about our energy and that space around us, there being a gap where there was once something or someone. And it takes our mind, our body and soul a little while to recalibrate, and we adjust to our new normal. And because our body and our systems, when we do any kind of spiritual and energetic work, it takes a little while for our bodies to align with this. So it's so important whenever we've done a ritual or we put something out there that we rest so our body can catch up. Exactly the same when there's loss or when someone or something's missing in our life. It's not there anymore. It's so important to honor our bodies, because our body, for however many years, however many months, decades, etc., has been used to that energy being there. So for it suddenly not to be there, that's a huge change. That shock, trauma to our body. And we speak a lot about the 4F, fight, flight, freeze and fawn. And when we were cave people, when there was any kind of change, our limbic brain would kick in and we would go into fighting, fleeing, or freezing, or fawning. So we still have those brains, and when there's any kind of change, the limbic brain will kick in. We leave our parasympathetic into our sympathetic because it's a form of survival. So it's so important, my beautiful. If there's anything at all that you're going through where there's been any kind of loss, give yourself space to accustomize to your new space. Be really, really, really gentle with yourself. I know I always say that, that's my mantra. Be so incredibly gentle with yourself. There's so much going on in the world. And as empaths, as sensitive souls, we're dealing with change constantly anyway because we feel so much in and out of different environments. When there's something that's almost like a comfort, if you like, Cleo was my comfort blanket. Whenever there was anything going on, whether there were any situations with family or friends or intimate relationships, she was my constant. Unconditionally there. Unconditional love. When I had my accident in 2016, I found a photograph the other day, and I actually took the photograph at the time to remind myself how gorgeous she is. I'd had a moment of crying, there were many of those, and she was just lying and cuddling into me, and I couldn't move very well for about 6 months, and she just cuddled and cuddled and cuddled me, and she was there for me. And as I'm saying this, my beautiful girl Coco, who is on my lap underneath stars, underneath the tree of love, is giving me so much love at the moment. She is making her little bed, but she's also going, "It's all right, Mum, I'm here." So all of us have had to get used to this new normal. Absolutely. And she's smiling at me at the moment. So this episode is just to really gently introduce accepting the in-between in your emotional capacity. Now, with the emotional capacity, as I mentioned, when there's huge change all of a sudden, our brain goes into the limbic brain, goes into survival mode, and that can change how we show up. Whereas before, we may have had the emotional capacity to cope with certain things, we can only, and I'm talking from a personal point of view, and what's coming through actually, it's so important that we only have support and love around us. Because anything else other than support or love is going to be rather unhelpful and may push us even further into feeling trauma, feeling despair, etc., etc. So this has come up rather hugely. It's so important that when we're going through something that we are surrounded only by love and support. And when we're in a heightened sense of sensitivity, we are hugely sensitive souls. All of you listening are hugely sensitive souls. It is an absolute gift. If there is any situation that is making you feel uncomfortable, you have every right to step back from that situation without explanation. And if it is supposed to stay in your life, whatever that situation is, once you have acclimatized, shall we say, to your new normal, then perhaps you can approach that situation again. Because for us to have the healing that we need, love is so important. Understanding, unconditional friendship is so important. So if there's a situation and friends aren't quite understanding because you're not how you've shown up before, and there's no emotional capacity to explain what's going on, or being a highly intuitive empath, you felt into something and you don't want to burden them with whatever's going on, and so something you've sent has been with high integrity and has been received in a completely different way, to then enter into that situation and explain everything is going to be to your detriment, my gorgeous. Accept the situation as it is and allow that as you've acclimatized to your new normal, you can then, with an open heart, address the situation. The last thing you need is any drama. The last thing you need is to explain anything. So that felt really, really important to come up, because if there is a situation with any people in your life who you're feeling misunderstood, this is the last place that you start explaining yourself. It's so important that we don't feel we should have to explain ourselves. Sometimes messages, emails, etc., so forth, can be completely misunderstood. When we're in a place of loss and readjustment, we only need nurturing. We only need nourishing. That is all that we need. So they're my words to you on this beautiful eve of Beltane. The next episode, I'm going to be sharing with you all of the beautiful happenings in France. It just felt really, really important. With the moon shining on me, and she's going to be full tomorrow, with the stars above me, under the tree of love. I tried to record when I was in France twice. I tried to record when I came back. It was important I accepted the in-between. It was important that I accepted my emotional capacity, because I was still feeling into everything. And as much as there was so much to share, and there is so much to share with you, it's important that it felt right for me to share at the best moment. And you may be able to feel this energy, and I really hope you can. It's absolutely magical. It just felt so important for me to share this on this beautiful, beautiful Beltane evening. And what I've been really feeling into recently as well, so strongly, so deeply in my heart, is 8 years ago or so, in fact, for many, many years, I've been feeling into running retreats, is having beautiful experiences with gorgeous sentient beings. And it started to become really apparent to me as I was in France. And I can't remember if it was just before I left for France at my crossroads, or as I arrived in France, I saw something as an invitation to join a week training for retreat. And that is exactly what I've been doing in the past week, and it's become more and more apparent. And when I was in France, I was healing, I was listening to nature, I was really feeling into all the places I've been with my beautiful girl Cleo, because she was in France with me last year, loving me, caring for me, and protecting me when there was some tension. When things got a little bit fraught with the people around me, she was my absolute rock. And what I've realized is, and I had a beautiful conversation with somebody about this on their podcast as well, we cannot put a sell-by date on grief. And with societal expectations, I'm not saying me, I'm not saying everybody, some people can think, well, it's just a cat, it's just a dog, it's just your iguana, it's just your spider, whatever beautiful sentient being you had by your side that's not there anymore. There's almost this brush it under the carpet and get on. So what I've been really feeling into is I would love to welcome gorgeous sensitive souls who have lost their beautiful feline guide, who now loves them from the Rainbow Bridge, and I can help them through and guide them through, just to be with like-hearted souls with no explanation, all understanding that everybody will be in whatever space they are, and given that space to do so. And yes, there will be gentle healing circles. Yes, there will be connection with nature. There will also be just beautiful space to really be you and to really feel your needs rather than everybody else's needs, and to really feel held, nourished, and cocooned. And the retreats are called conscious cocooning. And I've had this vision for so many years, and it became so apparent to me that the first one is in honor of my beautiful girl Cleo, and it will be to support like-hearted, beautiful souls who have lost their beautiful feline guide. So I felt to share that with you underneath the tree of love on the eve of Beltane. It does make me emotional as I say this. So if you're feeling this and you would like to have some more information, then do add your email on the link tree and I will get in touch with you personally. There won't be any bulk emails going out. I will get in touch with you personally and we will have a conversation, and we will feel into if this feels absolutely right for you. Okay, so I'm sending you so much love, beautiful. Here's to your self-acceptance. Here's to you being the fabulous, fabulous, beautiful person you are, allowing yourself to be just you, really. So, wishing the most beautiful Beltane, and we will be back under the tree of love very, very soon. So much love. Hope.
Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Accepting. Please do stay tuned for future episodes and also subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.